Yeah, that's a ramp. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking. Tonight on the show I'm going to teach you how to make a specialty novelty product. It's called Ramp Pesto. This is like regular pesto, but instead of using basil or some other kind of herb, we're going to use the greens from ramps. Ramps are a seasonal wild leek that grows in the northeast part of the country. I don't really think Ohio is northeast, but I guess it's like more northeast than like probably 2/3 of the country. Ramps are, like I said, they're a delicacy. They're super hyped. I'm very fortunate to know a place to get them. I'm not going to tell you about that place. I was strongly considering having us do like an expedition episode, but there are various factors that go into why I don't think that that would be okay, and these definitely came from a store. I'm just kidding, they came from the woods. Ramps are really cool. These are not going to look nearly as cool as they should because they've been wilting in my fridge for a couple days, but that doesn't look too bad. They're essentially a wild leek. I read today they take 5 to 7 years to grow, which like that's not a whole lot of onion for half a decade. Jesus Christ. But they taste really cool. Some people compare them as like a garlicky onion. I think that they have like a, that's what people say about shallots too, right? I think that they taste like a funky onion, and they are really good. You can eat the whole thing. The greens are good. The stem's probably my least favorite part. The bulb's good. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use the leafy green and a little bit of the bulbs. We're going to make some pesto. I don't really f with pesto, so I'm going to be like f***ing around with this recipe. Another thing to note, a lot of times in pestos use pine nuts, which are ungodly expensive. So I'm going to be using probably sunflower seeds, which are actually really similar to pine nuts, if you think about it. Those kernels look pretty much the same. At any rate, this is a simple recipe that I inevitably will f up, but we will f it up together, as per usual. You can learn from my mistakes, and probably just buy a jar of pesto. That's probably what you'll get out of this one. You also, if you don't live in the Northeast, you'll be like, well, can't make that recipe. And as an extension of that, if you are not, you know, woodsy or wood crafty, you can shell out the big bucks, because I think that like ramps, when they are sold in stores, it's like 20 bucks a pound or some crazy shit. Okay, I got a pot of water here. That's my, that was definitely my, this is a short video, so I better rant for 5 minutes or whatever. I'm gonna heat a pot of water. There's schmutz in there. Why is there schmutz in there? And the purpose of that is we're gonna blanch some of these ramps. And part of why we're doing that is for color. When you blanch the ramp greens, it kills whatever enzyme turns them brown. That is what I read. I read about it on the internet, so I don't know if it's true. But at any rate, you might as well give it a shot. So I'm going to trim up some of these ramps. I'm going to use the bulbs for other purposes. I definitely think that I might have harvested too many of these. One of my favorite things in ramp research, because I again found these on a property that is like completely unutilized. I'm sure somebody owns it, but I mean, I had their full permission, that's what I mean. But at any rate, like, the sustainability advocates really like to jerk off about ramps. For some reason, ramps is a particular, like, oh, it takes 5 years to grow, don't harvest more than 5% of what you find. Think about it, it's like, well, what if nobody else is gonna harvest them, ever? It's only me. I don't know, it's kind of like what I'm weighing in my brain, my Phil brain, is what is my impact on this particular stretch of the woods? If I don't eat these, is anybody gonna eat these? Am I taking ramps away from a wildlife creature who's gonna eat them? I don't think so. I don't think wildlife's down with that. So really, I'm doing the woods a favor by eating these. I'm also doing my friends a favor by making them tasty food. So that's why sustainability is bullshit, and f the planet. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. They gave us this nice stuff. I think that looks like 2 cups of ramp leaves, because it's 2 hands. My hands are cups in this moment. Filbert cup hands, that's me. I'm gonna give them a rough chop. By the way, I gave these a thorough washing, well, as thorough as I could, before putting them in this bowl. Like when I got them home and I rinsed off all the mud and shit. Still not perfect, but we're gonna blanch them anyway, so that'll kill whatever whatever would have killed us. Kill or be killed. Take that, bacteria. So in this moment, I'm waiting for the water to boil so I can blanch these. I guess I could prep something else, but not really, there's nothing to prep. So be back when that water's boiling. Got my simmering water here. Got my leafy boys. Gonna drop them in here and we're just gonna blanch them 45 seconds to a minute. Gonna use this fine tool that I picked up and put over here and couldn't see. So again, part of what we're doing is helping out the color. One of the things people like most about pesto is the vibrant green color. By blanching it, it'll help it stay green longer. Most of our recipes are not original. Did you know? We're not very good at giving credit where credit's due either. So, us, I guess. Pro tip for the folks at home. Sometimes you can tell how many drinks I've had on the show by the number of citrus that's in my glass. But this time is an exception because I wanted more citrus. This is only my second drink, not my fourth. You do the math! Some weird brown shit floating out in there. Probably just remnants of the woods. Smells f***ing great. Alright, I got my Blenderino here. You can use a food processor if you got one of those. I don't. Just dump it on in there. That'll be great. It's already vibrant green. I should take this moment to demonstrate that there are multiple varieties of ramps we have here. So we've got the red stem. The red stem is like kind of the showy, this is what people think of when they see ramps. And they're like, yeah, that's a ramp. But also, we've got plenty of ramps in here that don't have any red. It's like a different species, but it tastes pretty much the same. It's just not as cool looking. I don't know, is that useful information? I'm gonna trim up a few bulbs here. Some people in the pesto land say they use garlic. I think that's normal, isn't it? So we're gonna just use a few bulbs instead because these are fairly garlicky. And another sustainability thing that I saw in my research was like, only harvest the greens. Those greens will grow back. You don't have to say to that, because the bulbs is tasty. What purpose do plants serve other than to give us pleasure and nutrition? Take that, plant apologists or whoever the f you are. I don't know who I'm arguing with.
The Green Party.
The Green, yeah, f you Green Party. Yeah, it's five ramp bulbs. I think that'll be plenty. Okay, to that, we will add between a quarter cup. Well, I got all kinds of recipes here. I don't know. I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of sunflower seeds. These have been roasted already. If you bought raw ones, you should toast them. But I ain't got time for that. And I got a 1/3 cup of Parmesan, maybe a little extra, so it's probably like a 1/2 cup. And I'm gonna add some sea salt. I use a fine texture because we don't really want any big honking pieces of shitty salt. And I think I'm gonna give this a blitz, as they say. In a food processor, you would use a coarse grind, but I'm just gonna use the pulse function on my my blender here just to get it started. And oh, it already smells f***ing great. I've got some sunflower oil here. You can use olive oil or any quality oil. I'm using sunflower oil because I use sunflower seeds. I thought it would be a nice, consistent taste. You're supposed to, well, I should probably measure it. You're supposed to like drizzle it in while you're blending and shit. I don't know. I want to see if we can make an okay product without going through that effort. So I'll just be here dribbling in and out the bottle for the next 20 years. Don't even worry. Don't even worry. And while we're at it, give it a little squeeze of lemon, which helps, again, preserve the color. And I think it actually probably make it taste pretty nice. One thing I didn't think about, which I really should have done, was I should have rinsed those ramp leaves in cold water. It's f***ing hot pesto now. Probably still cooking, probably ruined, honestly, but here we are. Hot leaf pesto, no problem. It's looking like, you know, fairly pesto-like. I think it needs to be more blended, so maybe we'll give it a whirl. So one thing I'm thinking is maybe not enough greens. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty pesto-like. It's like, I don't know, like an appropriate fill level of pesto. It's probably not that great, probably not that bad. Could be anything. Oh, it tastes real good. I think I'm gonna grind it up some more. I think the seeds need to be broken up a little more. One of the things I read was you're not supposed to overblend your pesto, but we got more ramps. Yeah, my general inclination, just based on the color, so maybe we could use some more greens. But, that being said, it tastes really nice. Let's see if we can't pour that into a jar. Really tasty. Really tasty. But yeah, I think the sunflower actually really complements it. It's like nice and nutty, but it's not overwhelming. Probably the least appealing jar of pesto you've ever seen. Sloppy as shit. God damn, tastes good. So one delicious thing to try ramp pesto. One delicious thing to try ramp pesto on is grilled bread. It's literally just bread brushed with olive oil and then grilled. And you spread the pesto out on it and you dig in. Probably should cut it in half so someone else can try it. See right there? Alright guys, so good.
Delicious.
That's as cheap a pesto as you're gonna get. Free ramps because you took them out of the ground. Sunflower seeds, cheap as shit. There you go. Go be fancy. That's how you do it. Fancy boys.